Right now on NBC Connecticut today at 5, Florence pounding the Carolina coast. The National Weather Service just released new information on the track of the storm seconds ago. Where is the path of the storm now?
This is a powerful storm that can kill. Today, the threat becomes a reality.
And that threat from Florence is real, as some areas along the Carolina coast are already experiencing some flooding.
And you can hear the crashing of those waves as Florence gets ready for the main event. Thousands are already evacuated as the storm is about to come ashore. Coming up, we'll have live team coverage on that storm. Good morning, I'm Ted Coffey.
And I'm Shannon Miller. Thanks for joining us on your Friday morning, a very busy Friday morning. Let's get you right on over to the latest on Hurricane Florence. It is a Category 1 storm now, packing those fierce winds. The National Weather Service has issued dozens of hurricane watches and warnings, plus storm surge warnings as well. That's right.
Florence has the potential to cause more than 7 feet of storm surge and bring more than 20 inches of rain. Some areas already have flooding, and the storm has the potential to create some tornadoes near the southeastern North Carolina border there. Let's get to Bob Maxson here, who has the newest information on the track of the storm and your local weather. Bob?
Yeah, the eye wall is getting closer and closer. Thanks, you guys, and good morning, everyone. 5:01, and you can see the satellite imagery is just incredible. Of course, we can work with the color tables here to show you where the most incredible convection is. And here's the problem: it's all here in the northeast quadrant of the storm. So as the eye moves toward Wilmington, it's creeping in this direction. This stuff circulating in, and the worst of the weather will happen probably between now and 12 noon or 2 o'clock this afternoon, and then the storm will begin its weakening phases as it's over land. But right now, it is still over water and creating wind gusts at some of the buoys and inland, between 50 and 80 miles per hour around this storm at some of these buoy locations. I'm amazed these buoys are still transmitting, because it's been 12, almost 18 hours worth of hurricane force winds for some of these offshore buoys. So where's the storm right now? Well, it's a Category 1 storm. It is just off the coast. It's creeping. It's about 20 miles or 18 miles off the coast, and it's moving at only 6 miles per hour. So it's not going to make landfall for a couple more hours. And then by 2 o'clock this afternoon, it's inland. And then by 2 o'clock tomorrow morning, it's over South Carolina. So it'll creep during the day today, then it'll start to move a little bit quicker as it moves through South Carolina and gets picked up by the jet stream, and eventually the remnant rains are coming our way. So take a look at the latest live Doppler radar here, and you can see the eye of that storm, that center of circulation, moving right at Wilmington. And we've been saying that since probably, I don't know, Tuesday, that this area was going to be the area that had the biggest issues, and that is certainly coming to fruition, unfortunately. Now, our weather, we have lots of low-level moisture this morning. We have some low clouds, fog, and even a touch of drizzle, but the clouds will break. Right now, 60s. We'll end up in the 70s to near 80 at the bus stop this morning. Skies should become partly cloudy. It may take a little while to burn off some of the low clouds, but we'll do much better today as high pressure builds in. Heading home should be gorgeous. For more coverage on Hurricane Florence, we send it back to you.
All right, Bob, thank you. And we're going to take you into the storm now. Chief Meteorologist Ryan Hanrahan is in Wilmington, North Carolina.
Yeah, he's showing us the elements the Carolinas are feeling right now.
Good morning, Ted and Shannon. We are in the thick of the storm right now. We've got winds this morning that have gusted here in Wilmington up to hurricane force. But the worst of the storm, believe it or not, is still to the east of us. It's about 10 or 20 miles east. That's where the eye wall of Hurricane Florence is, and that's going to be moving through as we go through the morning. The good news is the wind speeds with Florence have come down. It's now a Category 1 hurricane, so I think the wind damage, there will be a lot of trees and power lines that come down, but the structural damage will be pretty limited from the wind. Different story, though, along the coast. We know there has been very serious storm surge flooding from the Outer Banks all the way down to very close to where we are here near Wrightsville Beach. And unfortunately, it looks like the storm surge is going to continue to be a major factor on the barrier islands. The other big factor that hasn't changed at all is going to be the inland flooding. Over 2 feet of rain is expected once you get inland, and that is going to cause near record levels of flooding on many local rivers and streams here in eastern North Carolina. So even though the winds have come down, the threat is still there, and the threat is quite high for a very substantial storm and a very substantial impact as we go through the morning. In Wilmington, North Carolina, I'm Ryan Hanrahan, NBC Connecticut News. Back to you.
I think it's certainly starting to pick up there. Keep it locked right here for Ryan's exclusive live reports from the ground as the worst of Hurricane Florence hits. We will have storm coverage for you throughout the day as well. We want to bring in Heather Burry right now, who is tracking the overnight developments, what's been happening since you've been sleeping, and as damage reports start to come into the newsroom this morning.
And Heather, I know you've been watching this very closely. What do you know right now?
Well, you guys, we know Florence is about to make landfall in North Carolina. That's just coming down from the National Hurricane Center. This post from the city of New Bern is that they are about to have about 150 people waiting to be rescued. 2 of them out of state FEMA teams. They're in the area, and they're going to help with that swift water rescue. More teams are on the way to help, but residents might have to go to the second story of their home for safety. Now, I want to have you take a look at the power of this storm. You're taking a look at new video this morning. Yeah, this is a gas station canopy collapsing in Topsail Beach, North Carolina. You can see the canopy lean, fall, and then get blown by the wind into the building. Winds are gusting up to 90 miles per hour. Already almost more than 180,000 people without power in North Carolina. As Florence continues to pound the North Carolina coast, the National Hurricane Center is predicting monstrous freshwater flooding. Forecasters say that powerful storm surge and that tide is going to put areas that are usually dry near the coast underwater, and this is just the beginning. I'm going to be tracking Florence and have updates throughout the morning, and I'm going to bring you the latest details as they become available. But for now, I'm Heather Burry and Ted Shannon, sending it back to you.
All right, Heather, thank you. And stay with NBC Connecticut for around-the-clock updates on Hurricane Florence. We'll have the latest information on air, on the app, and on social media. Time to check the roads. Here's Hannah Moore-Dill with a look at your Friday morning traffic.
Hey, good morning. Your Friday morning drive off to a nice start, but we do have DOT out there. You can see them live on 84 in the process of picking up those cones and causing just a few delays behind it on the westbound side. These delays, though, will ease on out once that construction is also gone. If you take a look at our maps, you're going to see that road work basically from West Hartford all the way to East Hartford on 84, also on Route 2 in East Hartford between about exits 7 and 2, and then headed on the southbound side of 91 between exits 30 through 27. But you saw crews starting to pick up, so that's a good sign. In Waterbury, rather, that says Hartford. In Waterbury, rather, we have construction between exits 25A and 25, also on Route 8 headed southbound between exits 30 and 29. And then you're going to see them out there in Stonington and 95 headed northbound between exits 90 and 91. Across the state, have a little bit of more road work to tell you about, so we're going to break down the rest of that next time around, but no major crashes, so that's the good news. Guys, back to you.
That is good news. Let's hope it stays that way, Hannah. Thank you. It's 5:07 right now. We continue to track Florence. The storm is expected to make landfall today. We'll have more team coverage of the storm next.
And dozens of explosions just outside of Boston. What caused scenes just like this in 3 different towns?
Incredible stuff out of this. Eye-popping. As far as our weather, of course, Florence is eye-popping too. The eye wall is now pushing into coastal North Carolina. We'll talk about it in a minute.